All right, it's Thursday, and every Thursday morning I have a special meeting. I call it the square meeting. And in the square meeting, I have 4 people with me. And these 4 people are kind of the arms of the octopus, so to speak. You have a brain, and you have the tentacles, and those tentacles, they operate the departments. What's important is that the tentacles don't fight against each other. So we don't want one tentacle trying to pull the octopus one way and one trying to pull it the other way. That's why it's really important to cast a long-term strategic vision and codify that long-term strategic vision. It's okay sometimes that there's healthy tension in the room, but unhealthy tension, and it pulls itself apart and it drops a limb, right? And that's not good. So ultimately, this square meeting, I should call it the octopus meeting, is where the major business units, finance, operations, e-commerce, sales and marketing come together and make sure everybody's aligned. We discuss current state and future state. We are looking out to 2026. We're discussing, how to improve this time period in 2026, and we're pressing each other for excellence. And every week we discuss the past week for a couple of minutes, and then I say, all right, last week's dead to me. I don't care about it anymore. And if we feel like we've got a month locked and that month is good, we don't talk about that either. That's also dead to me. I'm always focused on what's next while we're gleaning data so that we can apply good data to the current state. And one of our core values is continuous improvement. And so we're always looking to improve our position, right? I think that's a huge call out, is never to get complacent or in a position where you're just rinsing and repeating. That is complacency. And there's no space for complacency in my business. So it's an important meeting that we have every week. I like to say, if there's, if business is a monster, if it's like when it's small and you're ambitious and you're starting out and you're a phase 1 business, I like to call that reckless ambition, right? So you don't know which way you're going to go. You're just moving. You're just moving forward. You're trying a lot of stuff. You're screwing a lot of stuff up, and that's okay. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. A stage 2 business is, you're more like, it's tactical. It's tactical ambition. So you're applying tactics. You have good information. You have good data. It's important, and I'm going to call this out, to use data as a weapon and recognize when someone is weaponizing data. People have a tendency to turn the brand's ambition into personal ambition, and at times you'll have someone that weaponizes data. They may not even realize they're doing it, but data can be looked at a bunch of different ways, but you have to look at it through the lens of the brand. You have to look at it through the lens of the long-term strategic vision and make sure that the data is not being weaponized. If it's being weaponized, you got to shut that shit down. So data as a weapon. In a stage 3 business, one of my brands, Jocko Fuel, is a stage 3 business. It's more about thoughtful ambition. It's not reckless like a stage 1. You're definitely applying tactics like a stage 2. So you're abandoning the reckless side. You're applying the tactics of a stage 2 business, but stage 3 business, you've got all these things built out, your business units, your supply chains. But it's also important to remember you need to stay scrappy and resourceful. Resourcefulness is another core value of my business. Resourcefulness, I like to simply put, is, I'm not sure, let me find out, okay? I don't know, I will get the answer, right? So I'm not sure, abandon that. It's, let me find out. Or, I wasn't part of the conversation. Nah, like, all these things are deflecting statements. And so resourcefulness is always, let me find out, let me dig into it, I'll get you the answer by the end of the day. We'll make it happen. I might need some help to get that answer for you, but I know who to talk to. All these things are elements of resourcefulness. And so in this meeting, it's a distillation of just a handful of people that I've invested time, capital, and capacity in. And now they're investing time, capital, and capacity into the monster. They're feeding the monster. The brand is the monster. And the monster needs to eat. And it needs to eat a diet, a seasonal diet, right? Footwear and apparel, there's 4 seasons. And that diet needs to be a balance of carbs and fats and proteins. And in business, that is time, right? Capacity and capital. And you've got to make sure that you're giving it what it needs when it needs to eat. Okay? And if it is satisfied, it will turn its back to you, it will protect you, and it will go eat other market share. If you don't feed it what it needs, then it eats you. And I think that's what people don't understand. The monster will eat you. And our goal is to build healthy businesses, healthy brands. So you got to give the monster what it needs to eat when it needs to eat it. And of course, 2 monsters is even harder to keep fed. So you just got to have the right people in the right positions, and abandon complacency, be resourceful, and make sure that the octopus isn't going to rip itself apart at the same time. So anyways, little words of wisdom before I head in to this morning square meeting, octopus meeting. Catch y'all.
For me personally, this is my 10th 4th of July doing direct-to-consumer, e-commerce, menswear. My 10th. I haven't won a single one. Like, it...
If we had...
July 4th just bites hard, you know? Like...
I guess the question is, are we gonna hit plan? Not marketing plan, are we gonna hit plan?
Yeah. So
that's my biggest concern, fellas, is just hitting plan.
From that, this isn't hopeless by any means. And then I dare say we've hit the finance plan. We'd have to ask Tom, but like...
Yeah, I think it's more just how do we recognize what's going on?
Yes.
Fight.
Try to
fight back.
Yes.
Win July, because that's the real like beast in front of us. Is not winning June. Is pivoting and winning July and putting that like reminder for us for next year. Like, okay, right now we're feeling this. What can we do differently next year?
I'm going to use this phrase. It's not quite accurate, but it was a mild light switch. Like, it was like we came out of Flag Day, had a good that week was good, and then it
boom. Yeah, this is what we're missing right here for styles right now. If the boat shoe and the sandal were launched with some good Americana, I think we'd be in a different position.
And to be
right, Andy?
Yeah. Launching sandals in August is not ideal.
Like April 1st, shorts are in stock. 400% up over last year.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm wearing those right now. I'm actually wearing the. I just took these from the store. Yeah, the Nano Rip. These are phenomenal.
So next year,
and the boat shoes. They don't really go together. This is like your smart casual with your freaking workout short.
This is Versalite.
Yeah.
Versalite boat shoe.
Yeah, the Versalite are coming out this fall, right?
We actually have some. They got some off the line.
Is that true, Andy? You got some off the line?
No, Versa.
Oh, the Versa.
Versa, the regular Versa.
Oh, Versa Utility.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the plan for the next 10 years, which we're working backwards from. 2027, open five factory stores in major locations. 2030, build the factory of the future, have the grand opening. That's going to be between $40 and $80 million to do this project. We bought 105 acres of farmland, which we're going to be building it on. And then 2035, $1 billion in sales. That's $1 billion in revenue. with 100% American-made product on an American supply chain. And this right here, this is a model I want to run. I'll unpack that someday for you. 4 days of freedom leading up to July 4th. We want you sitting around a fire, making s'mores.
We want you in American made.
Yeah, exactly. If you're sitting around your fire, smoking a cigar, cooking up s'mores, hanging out by the lake, whatever you're doing, wearing clothes of communism, you're not really representing America. We have inventory of what? Denim and shorts, Andy?
Fully loaded on denim.
Fully loaded.
Pretty good on shorts, except for 40s.
4 days of freedom. 4 days of freedom. So a deal a day, 24 hours. 4 core products that are in stock.
Moab is 53%.
53.
So I was looking at pants, which was 45. So GTFO and some of the deals we've offered in the early part of the year is dragging it down.
So we go $75 denim 24 hours. You do a GTFO short 24 hours, and you do like 4 days of freedom leading up to July 4th, right? We do it at the end of the month. We liquidate some inventory, get some more cash on the balance sheet.
We still have
Wait.
a lot of Moab.
Okay, so Moab can be in this, right? So you can run that as day number 4 or whatever. $75 Moab, 24 hours. So I'll just put the deals up there. So you got $75 denim, 24 hours. $75, sorry, that was Moab.
Not necessarily in that order, though.
No, not in this order, no. You're gonna have GTFO, 24 hours. And what else? A Burr top or something, or a
No,
t-shirt?
we did
Not
Burr,
Three
not
packs of
Burr.
tees, 3 packs of tees.
We could lower the price of the 3-pack to try and do a volume play. I don't know if the inventory supports it.
Kilo light, man.
We have a lot of kilo.
Kilo light, perfect. That's great because you got 3 bottoms and a top. So kilo light. So the core light, 24 hours.
So the ASP on denim is 101. ASP on Moab is 103 year to date. So there's wiggle room to run a deal and not completely obliterate our plan, right?
Yeah.
So it's more of a blended margin. Like, I'll be really interested to see how this pans out. If we're still averaging a $200 AOV or even potentially more, the blended margin the hit might not be as bad as we think it is.
So here's I did pay attention to this over the Father's Day
Where's the pan? The plan's liquidated.
discounts. Like ASP,
I'd include it with the
not ASP, AOV was like $187 pre Father's Day.
Mhm.
Ran the Father's Day deal, it was like $184.
Yeah.
So
And that's
he's right. The cart size actually doesn't really change at all, regardless of the discounting of the deal.
Got you. $50 kilo hoodie. 4 days of freedom, really aggressive. Like, I mean, we haven't been this aggressive since Black Friday of last year, and we won't be this aggressive this Black Friday, but it'll help these dead weeks. And it'll probably be sold to our core customer too, so you're not gonna.
That's the other thing is that we can message it however we want.
Like, we can go midnight hammer on this thing and go like, I'm a marketing guy, right? Like we can go midnight hammer.
He loves to brand the campaign.
I
do
told
too.
Phil to stay relevant, we should have renamed Blackout Raptor to Midnight
Hammer.
Hammer.
Right. So listen, so we can go midnight hammer, 4 days, nuke the thing, right? We can go tactical, hit the numbers we need to hit from a finance perspective, preserve brand, if you want to call it preserve brand equity, but like and I'm looking at it also from a bandwidth perspective of, we can run these ads, they click through, there's a deal, the deal's in, the ads can stay in market and run.
If we just nuked the list, 1 million people with these deals, like we run them the last 4 days of June, right? So it's like 4 days of freedom to prepare for the 4th, right? Like, we have some nice messaging around it. Don't be sitting around the campfire in jeans of communism type of situation. If we nuke the list, what do you think the dollar volume is there?
At these deals?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta run some math.
I mean, it's got to be $1 million. Is that crazy?
You run your math, I'll run my math.
All right, you guys run your math.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious call out there is it's June revenue. Like, just for like,
Yeah.
I know it's still revenue, it's still cash, but it doesn't technically solve July because it would be in June.
Yeah. I
But you
understand.
over deliver June.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just-
I'm just
pointing
ensuring.
out the obvious.
Yeah.
We can give a some grace on July. Right?
I got a little PTSD about this stuff, so I'm just over communicating.
So I think the timing's right for something like this, right? Because even on the brand perspective, like, is this brand wrong, right? A lot of brands are running a deal on 4th of July.
So this is what we do in the Square group I was telling you about earlier. It's like a light switch turned off 4 days ago. Everyone's on vacation, nobody's shopping, and we continue to build inventory because we manufacture everything ourselves in our own factories. So in order to, and we know we have a lot of risk in July, right? July is traditionally, since inception of Origin, July is our slowest month every year. We haven't found a way to fix that or to win that. And so maybe we can just contribute some dollars in June to help insure July. Still got a lot of risk in July. But you got to do 80% right during the year. You got to hit your dates and gates for product, your marketing campaigns, how the story arc throughout the year goes. And then you have 20% magic. And so what we're talking about here is the 20% magic for the 4 days of freedom campaign, which was created in this Square group, which now is going to get done.
Our math is within 50 grand of each other.
Oh, what did you get? What'd you get?
You go first.
I had 800.
I did 8.
Incremental 800.
800K, 850K. I like it. That'll help, won't it?
Helps. Every bit helps.
Finance guy?
So incremental over 4 days, we're saying it's $1 million.
Total over 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah, total.
So
Yeah.
850 versus a baseline. If we just use 50K as a proxy, right? 600K lift in cash from these deals. So takes pressure off of July, although we still want to hit the plan, but it does take pressure from a cash needs perspective.
1 second, too. Hold on, because this actually will work. This might work really well in our favor. What happens on July 1st?
The boat shoe launch.
And we're inadvertently running our play that we've proven works.
Push a deal. Then
Push a
launch
deal,
new
launch product.
Yeah.
And then on the 4th, the gi. So like there is
Operation
a-
Midnight Hammer. Operation
Midnight Hammer.
Midnight Hammer.
So like
Operation
Big Bomb,
Fortnite Hammer.
Yeah,
man.
Big Bomb.
Big bomb
Big
4
Bomb,
nights in a
and
row.
then like 2 little, it's like 4 nights of some hits, boat shoe, gi.
Yeah, the 4th of
And then
July.
we got to see what the rubble looks like after all that.
We just got to get to August and get into our 4th quarter.
Well, there's actually, because we're just talking cash here, we're not talking necessarily e-commerce. The following weekend we have the tent sale, which was $200,000 last year.
In that's in NC.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yes, let's fucking go. But here we are again. Why? Where did we spend? I really don't even want an answer, Phil. I just want to bitch because I'm like, why are we here?
We didn't do anything wrong in 25. We're still paying for the sins of 24. The plan actually has us losing money through this point in the year. So regardless
We
of
plan
how
to lose money. Okay, so we plan to lose money. We plan to be here. So why didn't we plan this moment that we just discussed as 4 days of freedom when we did the plan?
We're hitting plan. We're hitting plan, but we
This is
want
a
more
de-risk.
insurance
This
to
is a
de-risk it.
And we're noticing the market being soft.
Yeah.
Our competitors are running sales. Our daily baseline has slowed down. So we're like, okay, how do we ensure that we hit July's plan? So we're talking about that now instead of missing plan in July
And
and scrambling.
and to caveat off that, which I think is something we cannot forget is we are a single channel menswear, and I hate the word,
I hate menswear.
online business. Like this is a fact of life. It will ebb and flow until we establish other channels with baseline revenues, just like we treat with this channel and things like that. We are at the mercy of that. We are trying to get dudes to buy things on their phone in the middle of their vacation.
Yeah, I think that's the key call out.
That is the
Fucking
YouTube
thing.
thumbnail.
With a big black bar over that.
This YouTube page is going to blow up with people getting to look inside the business.
They're gonna love it.
People are going to love that shit. The question, though, is, Tom, what happened to your face? Why do you have 2 black eyes?
I don't know. You have to ask Amanda.
Let's go eat. I'm hungry.
I got to feed these guys. After that long sesh, 3 hours, figuring out the pivot to make sure we hit plan for June and July as an aggregate, because we just saw too much risk and we've been talking about it for months and months and months, but the plan finally came together. So I just got a 90% confidence level. 90% confidence level in the aggregate of June and July's plans. So if that's the case, it'll be the best end of second quarter, beginning of third quarter in company history. Let's see.
Your feet, you're gonna be a monster.
Puppy stop.
She's so soft. Congratulations.
Amanda only likes dogs, really?
Him.
She doesn't really like people. Mostly just dogs.
See you. Bye.
See ya.
Bye, honey.
So that was a pretty fruitful morning. We came into the morning, into that meeting, kind of with a lot of risk in July, and the risk to plan, right? So we're measuring everything against what the plan is, and we've won really big time this year. We're up maybe 25% year over year at this point. And we knew all year long there was going to be risk to July. And so it was important to come out of that meeting with a higher confidence level and a better plan. And so all those different business units have different needs, but ultimately there needs to be alignment around the strategy, and in this case, a pivot to make sure that we ensure the month and obviously the start to Q3. And I think we got there. By the end of the meeting, we're looking at about a 90% confidence level in July. So we just need to execute it at this point and then still stay focused on the rest of Q3 and Q4 while we're planning 2026 and the beginning of 2027. So we're planning spring, summer 2026, fall, winter 2026, and spring, summer 2027. And we want to have a balanced business. It's important for us because we manufacture everything from scratch. And when I say from scratch, I mean literally from the fiber in the earth beneath our feet. So nothing is imported. And if we don't plan well, then our factories get out of balance. And when the factory is balanced, we call that level loading. So we need to level load the factories. And so all of the moments in our plan have to match up with the manufacturing capacity of the factory. And so that's a really hard business model when you think about it, because most brands, they're marketing companies. They design product, they ship the tech packs overseas. Tech packs are basically outline the patterns and trims that you're going to use in making a garment. And then the factories, they make the shit and then they send it back and then they ship it out from a fulfillment center. So they get to step away from the manufacturing side of the business, and we don't get to do that. We have our hooks in everything, like every detail. And it's not like we can just pull a purchase order from our own factory. Like it doesn't happen. Whereas these companies that import, if they don't need as much, they just say, hey, we're just going to cancel that purchase order. we can't do that. Like we have employees in America, in our 3 factories in Maine and North Carolina, and so we got to be really smart about making sure that these factories stay level loaded. Anyways, I'm gonna go to kind of do a brief with the creative team on how we're going to ensure July and the end of June, and just give them a download and make sure they're ready to sleep on the floor to make the shit we need to execute the plan that we just drafted out. So this is the beauty of being an entrepreneur. At the same time, Origin, again, isn't a stage 3 business. We're still scrappy. We're still, tactically ambitious, right? And we try to stay away from reckless ambition. So mature as a business, not mature enough, but we're gonna go get it.